All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another workshop. This month, we're doing website critiques. My name's Will Hankey. My company's called Window Treatment Marketing Pros. We're going to jump in today and look at a couple websites, give some critiques on those sites. We're also going to look at a couple sites that we critiqued last year and just see if there's any changes that have been made, any updates to those sites. And then we're going to look at a couple sites that are working very well, that we really like, that are our client websites and some of the things that we've done so that you can learn not only what people are doing wrong, but some things that are correct and right. So with that, I'm going to share my screen here and let's jump in. All right. So before we get into the individual websites, I just want to mention, as I do at the beginning of every workshop, that this is all part of our digital dominance method. In this particular case, we're kind of hanging out in that number one area website. Now, we're probably going to touch on a lot of the different pieces of the pie here, but for the most part, we're focusing on the website itself, things that you can do for your website to really move it along. And get more eyeballs, obviously drive more leads onto your site. So let's see here. Real quick about myself. My name is Will Hankey. Again, my business is Window Treatment Marketing Pros. This is a picture of me and my daughter, Amber, who also works with me. We've been a top-rated agency for many years now, top 50 fastest growing. I'm also a member mentor of a group called the Seven Figure Agency, and we help other agencies grow their businesses as well. So, all right, let's jump in here and look at a couple sites. So I am going to stop that screen, and then I'm going to pull up a new browser window here, and let's get started. So window right there. And all right. So the first website is from Lori, and that is, I know you're still looking at me, by the way. Let's pull this up and look at this. For some reason, it won't let me share my screen here. Let's try this way. All right, share. Let's try that again. It won't let me share my screen all of a sudden. What am I doing wrong, Liz? Share screen. Share that. It's not letting me do it. Trouble right off the bat here. Let's see if I can figure this out. Screen, window. Shows me the window to share, but it won't let me share it. Choose which screen, but it won't let me choose a screen. As usual, I'm doing something wrong, I'm sure. Let me try a different website. See if I can share this one. Let's try this. All right, share screen, go to window and choose. It's not giving me the share button. I'm going to need some help.
Will you need to add a new scene?
Add a scene. Okay, let's try that. Media, countdown, or camera. Never, I mean, I just shared my screen a minute ago and that worked just fine. Nope. Not giving me the button. Liz, can you pull up the website and just share it? There we go. It's done. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. I think we need to show this on the stream now. Maybe it's showing. Okay, fantastic. All right. Am I able? No, I'm not able to move through this now. This is fun. Okay, cool. So Lower Mills blinds and shades. So this is Lori's website. So first thing that I notice, logo top left, and then in the top right is some navigation related items. I do not see a phone number. So that would be my first pointer right off the bat for sure, is that you should always have a phone number. Typically that's top right. And that is a click to call phone number. So in other words, if you mouse over it, you can click it. That's very important for mobile visitors that are visiting your site and just want to reach out to you. The reason we put a phone number up there, quite honestly, is for all the other things that you're probably doing externally. So maybe you're going to a networking event or you're handing out business cards or those kinds of things, and people are aware of your business and they just want to find your website to give you a call. So don't make it hard for them to do that. Very easy for people to make their decision very quickly, or just get a referral from somebody else, have to go find your phone number, and you should make it as easy as possible, obviously. So top right, I would have a phone number. Then as you scroll down the page, I'm noticing that the top navigation doesn't stay up there. So we call that a sticky navigation. So as you scroll down, the top navigation, which I think was just services and about, that should always stick at the top of the page along with your logo and your phone number. Those things should always be there. That way, no matter how far somebody is down through your website, there's always a next step for them. They always have the phone number there available. They always know where they're at, and they have an obvious next step. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Alternatively, or additionally, you could have a button in the top right that is something like set an appointment. Set your appointment. And that button should be a drastically different color from the rest of your site. So basically something that draws your eye to it. So in this case, since the site is pretty much gray tones, almost any color would work, blue or green or orange or something like that. Some sort of button in the top right that is an obvious next step would be great. So that is very important. Having that sticky navigation and then having some sort of a call to action or next step as you scroll through the site, that's always something that they see. So, all right, let's scroll down through this page. I just want to look and see how much content is here overall. So there's 6 or 8 words. There's another 6 or 8. Discover the perfect solution, what we offer. Now, a lot of these are graphics, and I bet Google doesn't see them. So Google will see this with over 2 decades of experience. That's great. And then I see contact our expert team. We've got a form on the page. The form is first name, last name, email, and message. One thing you could do with your form is change that to say, tell us about your project or something like that, instead of just message. I think that would be better and a better prompt for somebody who's filling out this form. Because message, they could just type in there, call me or contact me. Actually, now I notice there's no phone number in this form either. I would definitely add a phone field in here as well. Now, also right in this contact our team section here is the first time I see any mention of location. If you're located in Quincy, Milton, or anywhere in greater Boston, don't hesitate to contact us. So one thing that you're missing near the top of the page is some information on what you do and where you are, right? So when somebody lands on your page, and quite honestly, when they land on any page on your site, one of the first things they should see is whatever that page is about. In this case, your number one keyword is probably going to be something like window treatments Boston, window treatments Quincy, window treatments Milton, probably Boston, because that is the big city that you're close to. Then some of the smaller cities could be on other pages on the site. So that should be front and center. This is the first time I see that it was mentioned. So Google's going to have a tough time knowing where you're at, what this site is about. And we want to make sure they know this website is about window treatments in the Boston area. Those two things are highly important. So, all right. If we scroll down a little more, I see location. That's good. If you do have a real address, put that on here. That definitely should be in the footer. That's going to send another signal to Google about your location. Just mentioning the service areas isn't as great as a real address. If this is a work from home type business, then I can understand why you might not want to put your address there. But definitely recommended if you want to. Now here at the bottom, I do see a call to action. Text Larry for custom window treatments. It's almost like an afterthought here. Again, not bright, doesn't draw my eye to it. So it's just not pulling me to know what my next step is here. I do see the phone number finally in the bottom right, the last thing. Let's get that at the top of the page as well. So, all right, let's go back up and look and see if there is a products page of some sort. I see services. Let's try services and see what's under there. So I wonder if I click this at the top of the page, does it just throw me down? Oh, it does throw me to a separate page. Okay. So this throws me to a page titled services. So once again, this is where you might want to have a better headline that is window treatment services in the Boston area, something like that, instead of just the word services. Then we've got some pictures and some text. It also, I'm not sure if it is. Oh, yeah, it is. There's a couple different fonts going on here. So if we looked at experienced and trusted installer, and then the font under there all matches, but the next one over, which is the title for this section, customized solutions, that's definitely a different one. So there's some inconsistencies here from that standpoint. That, you know, these are small things, but again, they really do help make your brand look a little bit more professional, those kinds of things. So, okay. Are there any pages on this site that talk to specific products? Let's see. Client work, services. Is there a drop down under services? Okay, here we go. So let's try motorized consultation. I bet that just opens up something inside of here. Okay, so my guess is this site is very small when it comes to number of pages. So as time goes on, what's going to happen is Google's going to come to your site. They're going to index your couple pages that you have, and then they're going to earmark it for, let's say, 6 weeks. 6 weeks later, they come back to your site and it's exactly the same. Nothing's changed. Nothing's been added to the site. At that point, or in a very short future point after that, Google's going to decide your site is stale. It's not growing. It's not fresh. It's not adding content. And you'll start to lose rankings. If you have any rankings, you'll start to lose those. So one of the things that we do for all of our clients is consistently add content to their site so that every time Google comes back, there's more stuff for Google to digest. There's more information. We're solving more issues for potential customers. So that's a big piece of this. And another part of that is individual product pages. So if you're really wanting to get into the motorization side of things, I would build a page on your site that only spoke about window treatment motorization in the Boston area. And that was the purpose of that page. There was some pictures of motorization, maybe a video of shades going up and down, a map of the Boston area. There's a lot of things you could do to really start sending signals to Google, so that what happens is somebody goes to Google and they type in window motorization near me. If they're in the Boston area, Google's going to dump them to that page. And that's the best scenario. What you don't want people to get dumped to your homepage and have to go find the thing that they're looking for. It would make more sense if Google just told them, here's a page specifically on window treatment motorization in Boston. They land on that page, they say, oh yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And then they click the set an appointment button. So that's a fantastic scenario. Much easier to do, much better for your Google conversions, because they're landing on these internal pages that make the most sense. So, okay, I would definitely work on building some product pages to start in on this website. So hopefully that's enough tips to kind of give you some information on optimizing your site a little bit. Now I'm going to try to share my screen again, and I want to grab this. Let's see if I can do this now. Entire screen. Oh, now it says share. Isn't that interesting? So you guys should now see my screen here. I'm going to bounce over and make sure. Okay, you guys can see my screen. Cool. So don't know why it started working now, but that's great. So I want to grab this URL and plug this into a tool that I have called Search Atlas. This is a tool that we have that can look at a website specifically from Google's standpoint. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way here. Let's hide that. Let's move me over here out of the way so you guys can see this. All right, now let's plug this into here. So I'm plugging the domain name lowermillsblindsandshades.com into this tool. I'm going to click the search button here, and what I'm interested in is, how does Google see this site beyond the physical things that I mentioned that you could change on the site? How does Google actually see the signals that are coming from this website? So things we're looking at include backlinks, what kind of ranking they have, those sorts of things. So, all right. So a couple things to notice here. Domain rating is a number from 0 to 100. And that number basically reflects how authoritative your site is online. Now, this one's at a 0, so can only go up from here. Part of the big reason that it's at a 0 most likely is because it's stale, because it's not growing. It's not adding new content every time Google comes around. It's not feeding the monster, I guess you could say. Now, the next one over here is backlinks, 11. Backlinks are links from other websites pointing back to your site. The more of those you have, the more votes you have for your site, the higher you're going to rank in Google. That directly affects your domain rating as well. So backlinks needs to be in the hundreds and ultimately in the thousands as time goes on. That's a big piece of the pie here. Now, when it comes to actual keywords that you're ranking for, we can actually look at this chart down here at the bottom. I'm going to change this to a 1 year just so we can kind of see. So in March and prior to March of this year, it was ranking for 0 keywords. April 1, May 1, then in June, it jumped up to 4. And then it's just kind of hovered between 3 and 4 since then. So this, again, needs to be in the hundreds and the thousands. The key to this success is the same thing. It's content. Consistently adding new content to your site. Now, there is a difference between going on your website and changing it every couple of weeks versus going and adding additional pages or additional content. You can only change your site so much and change the words around, and Google's going to understand what you're doing. What they're really after is more content, more things, more problems that you're solving for visitors. So definitely the missing piece here is content, with backlinks also being another missing piece of this. So, all right, let me see if I can figure out how to stop sharing. Let's do this. And all right, there I am. All right, very cool. So, all right, that was the Lower Mills site. So let's see here. Let's look at another one. Now, this is one that I looked at last year. Made in the Shade, eastorlando.com. So let me put this one up here on the screen, and then let's see if I can share this. There we go. I got it working now. All right. So Made in the Shade, East Orlando. So I know the Made in the Shade folks have revamped all their websites in the last 6 months, 4 months or so. So the new websites look really nice. They look great. They have a lot of the pieces in place that you would expect for conversion. So I'm going to click this. Let's see if you guys can see this. Let me stop sharing. So let me see if I can share this. This is a video of the critique I did last year for them. So you can see the difference from the old site. This is what the old site looked like. That's what I looked like a year ago. But you can see the old site. So you kind of get an idea of how their site used to look. So if we stop that and go back to here, and let me share what the new site looks like. It looks tremendously better. It looks a lot better. Still has some of the same functionality as far as like the Alexa raise my shades, but it has a nice call to action. I would probably say maybe the calls to action need to be a little bit different color because the purple starts to blend in. There's also multiple calls to action here, which can confuse somebody. What should I do next? What should I do next? Now, in this case, they're both request a free consultation, but now this one changed. It says, see how it works. So again, you're asking them to do two different things, not an obvious next step on here. They have a great form, quick and easy, your name, email, phone, and zip code. So zip code is interesting. This is something that they're doing in particular. We don't do a lot of clients that ask for a zip code. Now, the reason they're probably doing this is to help them qualify the lead, make sure that it is in the Orlando area. They also have, in this particular franchise, they have territories. So if this is a zip code that they don't service, they would need to pass that lead on. So I think that's probably why they ask that. And so that's pretty good. They've got some great calls to action here, some great information. Top brands, local service. They've got links to some of the internal pages on their site. Custom window fashions for every style. I'd probably change this to say Orlando or something like that. So again, we're sending the signals to Google about where we are, not just what we do. Some reviews. Love the reviews at the bottom. That's great. That's a great trust factor. Transform your space from ordinary to extraordinary. Free and home consultation. Now you notice how it takes over the entire screen. That's kind of cool. Request a free consultation kind of blends in, but it's okay. Find your inspiration. So these are local blogs that they're adding to the site. Picture, a little bit of information about who the owner is, some links or some vendors that they work with. And then at the bottom, see the benefits of roller shades. Not sure why they're promoting that one particular thing. Proudly serving some of these areas. Now, in a perfect scenario, they would actually build pages for each of these. So they would build a page for window treatments in Winter Park, Florida. Window treatments for Baldwin Park, Florida. I would build those as separate pages on the site. Again, so if somebody types in window treatments, Winter Park, that page would come up and would rank well without a lot of trouble. So definitely we consider doing that. When we go to some of their internal product pages, window shutters. So it does tell you where you're at, what page you're on, I should say. But again, no mention of location. So window shutters in the Orlando area would make more sense. Window shutters for your Orlando home, something along those lines. would make more sense. Regal and elegant. I'd probably stick to some more keywords, but they do have some keywords here. So that's good. Plenty of pictures on the site without it being overwhelming. Pictures are fantastic, and a lot of customers make their decision by the pictures that are on your site. However, too many pictures are really going to take a long time to load, and especially on mobile devices. So we do have some things here. Let's see, is this an individual page? Okay, so I can click on wood shutters. And now the headline for the wood shutters page is natural warmth. So not a great headline. I take that back. It might be this wood shutters up here. So once again, I know where I'm at. I'm just probably missing location. So wood shutters, Orlando, something along those lines. And I bet these are probably kind of like global areas. So these are the same on every internal page on the site. You really should have particular information for the page that you're on. So in this case, I'm on the wood shutters page. And now at the bottom of this page, wire roller shades, the top pick. I'd probably change this to be something related to the wood shutter, since that's the page that I'm on. So not a whole lot of individual information here, but overall, from a design aspect, it looks pretty good. Just some things to fix. Not a ton, but a little bit. So, all right. So that's some good comments about the Made in the Shade page. I'm going to stop sharing this one, and I'm going to jump to our next one. So this is another one that I critiqued last year that I want to share just what it looked like a year ago. Core with you guys. Window. There we go. So this is core window coverings. This is what the site looked like last year when I went through the critique. So let me pull this site up real quick here, and then we'll jump over and see what it looks like now. All right, let me stop that. Let me go here. See if I can't share this screen. I'm glad it's working now. All right, so here is the new site. Definitely has been changed, which is great. These are some cool pictures that it's loading in. Got some great graphics of what this website is about. I love to see that. Let's see. As I scroll, you notice it's sticky. That top header is sticky. Do not see a phone number. Oh, I do see it. It's really hard to find, but it is up here. Caller text. I'd probably put that over here. Maybe put two buttons. One is the phone number as a button that's click to call. And then I would probably consider changing contact us to something a little bit more call to action-ish. So something like set appointment, right? Book your consultation, something along those lines, instead of just contact us is maybe a little passive. So then we've got some product pages here, got some video going. Now here we go. Spokane and Coeur d'Alene window treatments. Look at that. Number one keyword front and center. It's about where they're at and what they do. That's awesome. I love that. I love that they've made some changes here. Core Window Coverings is your best source for window coverings, such as custom blind, shade, shutters, and more. So they're getting some keywords in there without looking spammy. That's great. Let's see if these are individual pages. So that did take me to an interior shutters page. The one thing I did notice on this home page is that I can't click on the word shutters. I have to actually click on the picture above it. So definitely make those words also link to the page. Just a minor thing. And we'll go back and check out that product page in a minute here. I just want to see what else is on the home page. All right, a little bit of information about motorization. That's great. The Learn More button is going to take me to a motorization page. That's fantastic. That is exactly what you want to happen. A little bit more about the company. Now, this is always tough because in most cases, you're also going to have an About Us page, right? So you can't put too much on your homepage that isn't just repeated on the About Us page, but you do need something here that tells a little bit about who you are. If you're a family-owned business, I would have a picture here, kind of like they do with the Made in the Shade location, where there's a picture of the family or a picture of the owner instead of just another product picture. Makes it just a little bit more personal. Sometimes people like to know that they're working with a small business. This Learn More goes to the About Us page. Here's a review, which is great for trust again. And then as seen in, they've got a couple awards down here. That's great. Some new projects they're working on. So this is really good. This is something that we also do with our clients, is tell them when you do a project, take some before and after pictures of that project, and then put it on your website with some information. Now, you obviously don't want to share privacy related things about what the address was or something like that, but roller shades in Hayden Lake home. That's wonderful. I love that. Really good. People are going to want to look at these projects and see what you can do, right? And these are pages that turn into conversions and or raised hands, right? So that's great. Our brands, give us a call. This is click to call. That's great. Here's the appointment form, and then some information in the footer along with address. That's great. Love to see that. Now these pages down here, you'll notice all go to individual links. So if I click on Hauser, it takes me to a page specifically about Hauser. Now in this case, Hauser ID probably should be window treatments in Hauser, Idaho, something along that line instead. Probably don't need that back button. Not sure why that's there. The calls to action here are definitely blending in. And then we've got some information. Here's some information about the particular city, some of the things that they do here. Window covering specialist near Hauser. Again, these are great keywords that they're putting in here in case somebody's doing a search for that. Here's the phone number. I'm not sure why that goes to the contact. See how my mouse changes right there, but then when I get to the picture, it's just that one little area that it does that too. That's interesting. Hire a window covering specialist near you. That's great. And then they've got a map of that particular area. This is a great signal to Google that this page is about this location. And since this is most likely a Google map that's embedded, that just kind of solidifies Google's ties. So that's real good. Here are some of the latest projects again, and then we're at the end of the page. So this site is drastically been improved from what it was a year ago. I love to see that. That's great. So, okay, let's jump over and stop sharing. I think what I forgot to do originally was click the stop sharing button. Maybe that's why it wouldn't let me share a new one. So, all right, let's jump over to Bloomin' Blinds. So this is another location, another franchise, sorry. So we looked at Made in the Shade. Let's look at Bloomin' and kind of see what those guys are doing. There we go. Share that. Okay, here we go. Cool. So this is Bloomin' Blinds of Bucks and Montgomery County. So we do have a location, Bucks, Montgomery, and Greater Princeton. So again, location. The one thing that I don't see right off the bat is the words window treatments up here. Instead, they have Bloomin' Blinds, which is okay. You have, from a franchise standpoint, you have a little bit more name recognition. Pretty much everybody knows who Budget Blinds is, right? So they really heavily rely on that brand recognition. So Bloomin' does a lot of the same stuff. I would definitely maybe have some window treatment related words up here early on. But so we've got repairs, shutters, shades, and blinds. Schedule a free estimate. Also, I noticed this top navigation is sticky. It has call us, which is drastically different from everything else. I mean, there is definitely pink on the page, but the button stands out. And then below that, schedule a free estimate is there. We've also got our city, so a list of service areas or service locations. This is really good. Let's just click on one of these. So here is New Hope, Pennsylvania. Custom-made window treatments in New Hope, Pennsylvania. I mean, that's perfect. You can't get much better than that. Where windows transform into art. Great little tagline. some information about this particular town, New Hope. Now, in this case, one thing we noticed that's a little different, the last page that we looked at on the last website did have a map with the location kind of like pinned in the middle. In this case, this is embedded from Google Maps again, but it outlines this particular city, which is just another great signal to Google about this particular page on the site, that it is related to this town of New Hope. So that's great. Down below is some information, again, some text on the location, some of the things that they do, a picture too. This is great. And then our recent work. So going back to the projects, that's always a great thing to add. And then we've got some calls to action here. Schedule an appointment, shop at home. Now these two probably go to the same thing. So that goes to schedule an appointment. And this actually goes to, your products page. So they're sending you over to look at the products first, with the idea that you'll go to the Roman Shades page or whatever page it is you want to look at. From there, they'll have calls to action on those pages as well. So financing options, that's a nice little ad. And then on-site repair. A lot of our clients don't like to do repairs. It's a lot of work for a little bit of money. The one nice thing that Bloom & Blinds does is, and you can actually see or listen to this in a podcast I did with the owner, Kelsey, about their strategy. And one of the things they do is they use repairs as kind of a way to get their foot in the door, and also a great way to get reviews for their business. You're in and out, you don't make a lot of money, but those reviews are very valuable. If you can push those review numbers up and maybe take a little hit on the revenue side in the short term, it's a great way to really start to grow your business and get those reviews up. Now, as we know, reviews is one of the three things that really influences Google's 3-pack, which is the map with the 3 pins when you do a search for, let's say, window treatments near me. Getting into that 3-pack of results is huge. And one of the pieces of getting into that is building up your reviews. So a lot of people don't like the repairs, but there is some strategy there that might be helpful to you. All right, in the footer area, they've got a picture of the Chamber of Commerce. I like that. And then they've got the individual pages. They've got some information related to who they are. Social media is in the footer as well. We pretty much always put social media links in the footer. We don't typically put them in the header. Now, I will see them on some websites where they've got the social links up here. We tend not to do that for our clients because we don't want to add the distractions. We want somebody to visit this site to either call or set an appointment on the site. So we do put those on here so that they are social signals to Google, but not in the header typically. Now, in this case, this website is featured on our America's Best Window Treatments, which is pretty awesome. There's Somfy, was that Home Advisor? They got 2 different Home Advisor, 3 Home Advisor links or badges, I guess you could call them, on the site. So some really cool things here. Now, this particular site, obviously, we're working on, so I want to make sure you guys know this is a site that we actually have done a lot of work on. Okay. Overall, this is a great anatomy of a really well-working website that generates leads consistently. So, all right, let me stop sharing this one, and I'm going to go see if there's any questions in the chat. I don't see any questions right now. That's okay. All right, so we went through Lori's site on Lower Mills, looked at a couple sites that we've worked on, or not that we worked on, that we critiqued last year, and just kind of got updates on those. And both of those sites are looking really nice. They made some fantastic updates to those. And then we went through the Bloom & Blinds location that we work on ourselves and kind of give you a good idea of things that you can do that other companies are doing that you can use for yourself. So, all right, next month, let me jump back over here and push a couple buttons here. Sorry, I'm moving things around so you can see everything. All right. Put that there. Put that there. Share that. And I just want to go ahead and finish up. So as I mentioned, this is all part of our digital dominance method. If you do have any questions, feel free to put comments on the videos. Reach out to us. I'd love to answer those questions for you, make sure that we get all of those answered. If you do want some keywords, you're not sure what to put, especially in those headings and those main key areas, here's a list of free keywords that you can use. This is a list of the top keywords that we see across the industry. For window treatments, we've also got one up there for awnings. So either one of those, you can go grab those keywords absolutely free. You don't have to opt in. You don't have to do anything to get those. They're just easily downloadable for you. And then if you don't have a copy of my book, so I have a new book out called 10 Quick Wins. I want to get a copy of this into your hands. If you want, reach out to me and I'll send you this book absolutely free. Now, it does say here, just cover the shipping. But if you're watching this live and you're consuming what we did today, I appreciate your time. I'll cover the shipping too. So go ahead and just shoot me a message. Reach out to us, Will at WTMarketingPros.com, and I'll send a book to you absolutely free. You don't have to cover the shipping or anything. I'll just drop it in the mail to you as well. So, all right. And let's see. I think that's about all. Oh, here. Yeah. Free strategy session. If you do want to chat a little bit more about your website and some of the things that you think you probably need to be improved, or you're in a position where you want to start doing some more marketing, I'd love to have a chat with you. It is a non-salesy chat, just talking about what your goals are, what your future is, what your future looks like. And if there's a way that we can help you, that's great. I'd love to talk to you about that. WTMarketingPros.com/strategy is where you can grab a time on my calendar, and we'll just do a 15-minute call. Again, non-salesy, just talk about what you're up to. I'll send you over some reports and things that might help you get further down the line. And I appreciate your time. Hope you had hope you do have a good day, and appreciate you jumping on. Take care. We'll see you next month